Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr Adeola and today I'm going to be talking to Dr Adeola about breast cancer.
Hello everyone, I'm Adeola Adeyemi. I'm a doctor, I specialise in obstetrics and gynaecology, which is the care of pregnant women and of women's problems as well.
I feel like I'm hearing a lot more people recently getting diagnosed with breast cancer. And more so, I'm hearing a lot more younger people being diagnosed with breast cancer. And I think that's quite scary. And this is an opportunity for myself equally, as well as everybody out there, to learn a bit more about the signs and symptoms of breast cancer. Also, to be maybe to a certain extent reassure that it's not the end of the world if and when it's found. But for today, I'm going to be asking Dr. Adeola some questions about breast cancer, and I hope that we'll all be able to learn from it. Dr. D, what is breast cancer?
Okay, so taking a cue from its name, cancer signifies an abnormal growth or atypical growth, something that's not expected to be there. And in breast cancer, the breasts are made up of cells, tissue, fat, glands, lobules, without going into too much details. And it's when these cells that grow and replicate to make all these different parts of the organ start to do so abnormally.
Okay.
And so that's what cancer means. Really, it's an abnormal growth, something that ought not to be there.
Okay. How can we spot the symptoms and signs, or I think there might be an issue with my body? What are the signs and symptoms for us to look out for?
Okay, that's a good question. Breast cancer is one of the commonest cancers in the UK. According to the NHS website, about 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime.
1 in 8 women.
1 in 8 women. So wow. That's quite a lot to think about.
Okay, so how can I help that statistic and look out for signs and symptoms of it?
Okay. So it is important to know your breasts.
Okay.
That is the key message, really, that the NHS, Cancer Research UK, Breast Care UK trying to get out there to people, to know what is normal for you. Because then when you know what your normal is, then you can tell what is abnormal. And it's really just feeling the breasts. So stand in front of the mirror. You can usually do them arms down, but also do them arms up as well, so you can see the glands on the side. Okay. So stand in front, look at them first of all. Look at the size. Are they roughly the same? They're not always exactly the same size. And notice the contours of it as well. Does it look symmetrical? Okay, does one side look a bit bumpy compared to the other side? That wasn't there before. So have a look at it. And then the other thing is to have a feel. So when you're feeling, you feel around, because you have lymph nodes, which are glands that like drain through the breasts as well. So you feel those, and you feel also underneath the armpits, because the lymph nodes, the breast gland curves underneath the armpit there, and you have lymph nodes there as well. So just feel if there's any lumps, bumps, or swelling. So you feel around them. Feel if there's any bumps, any sizable lumps or things that you can feel. Some people do have lumpy breasts, and the consistency of your breast can change with your periods. Okay. If you're breastfeeding or pregnant as well, pregnant women can have a bit more tender, sore breasts. Check to see if there's any abnormal discharge from the nipple. Okay. So any offensive liquid or any blood is usually a red flag to inform the doctors about. Now look at the nipple as well. An inverted nipple, because I'm trying to find a prop to demonstrate that. Can you see that? So this bit, the pith, is almost drawn inwards. Okay. Yep. In the rest, it should be exactly. It's turned inwards. So that's what an inverted nipple describes. Turning inwards, it's an abnormal side. It might be that the tissues inside are tethering, sticking onto something, which is what's drawing, pulling the nipple in. So if you notice any rash or redness around the areola, so where the nipple is, in that dark area as well. And then there's something called peau d'orange, which is orange skin. So if the tissues are tight and almost you can see pores,
all those dots,
exactly like that, it's called an orange peel, orange skin type appearance as well. That might be an indicative of underlying problem as well.
Where can people find out more information if they're worried or they just need the general knowledge about this? Where can we go?
Okay. So there is a lot of information out there, and as
A
you said,
lot.
we can keep going on and on about this. I think what's important is that you get accurate, correct information that is timely as well, so it's still relevant. So you can never go wrong with www.nhs.uk, which is the NHS website. If you type in breast cancer, it brings up all the information, all the things we've talked about today are on there. There's cancerresearchuk.org as well. And there's breastcancernow.org as well, and that's recommended by nhs.uk. And these have all the information about the symptoms, diagnosis, treatment, support, lifestyle, because it's an all-encompassing diagnosis.
Absolutely. Not long ago, I was watching TV as usual, and a lady came on and she was being interviewed, and she was from an organisation called Black Women Rising. Now, she has specifically put this organisation together for women of colour going through breast cancer. And I think one of the main reasons that they put this together was lots of information, so much is going on, you don't know how to control it, you don't know how to, to take it all in and manage and know what the next steps are. And I think that element of support is so important. So I think that Black Women Rising is there for that. And I think not only that, in the Afro-Caribbean community, or ethnic minority, should I say, they've particularly picked up that we don't talk about it.
Yes.
I think it's just one of those forbidden conversations in our cultures that we don't talk about. But
I think because people almost see death and sickness as taboo
cancer,
subjects.
dead.
Don't talk about it.
No, I think
I read somewhere that Black women are more likely to be diagnosed at a later stage.
And why would that be?
And I think this is part of the things that feed into is that people not having the awareness, not knowing, or even when they know, not having the information. Because we don't talk about it, or we don't read it. We don't want to know.
And I think
that's part of why we need to educate. This is why programs like this get the information out
Absolutely.
there, raise awareness. That people, it's not a taboo to talk about
It's
these
not.
things. It doesn't mean people will get it by talking about it, but we can raise awareness as a community.
Absolutely.
Get people informed, know that there's information, there's help, and there's support.
Absolutely.
Out there as well.
That's and that is the summary of this interview. And if you're watching this interview off the back of the Celebrate the King online concert, that's one of the reasons that we put this concert together this year, was to support breast cancer. I can be sitting here and I could get diagnosed. It is what it is. It's okay. I know what I'd need to do next. But me keeping quiet and keeping in my shell, and I guess that's what happens. We brush so much under the carpet, and by the time you discuss it or go to reach out, you're at the later stage. And perhaps, if we'd spoken up earlier, perhaps, I'm talking in a world of perhaps now, but this program, this interview is about education, communication, talk, ask questions.
And if you're unsure or in doubt, please speak to your doctor.
Yes.
Just call your GP, explain what the situation is. I know there's COVID, there's coronavirus, but they can listen to you, they can refer you appropriately, they can reassure you if that's the case. But please don't sit in silence, don't suffer in silence.
Absolutely. Dr. Z, thank you so much. You have been an instrument of great knowledge. Thank you for listening, and God bless. And thank you for watching, and God bless.
Thank you.